kad remiamės Europos žmogaus teisių konvenciją, kuri garantuoja minties, sąžinės, religijos ir saviraiškos laisvę, o taipogi Lietuvos Respublikos konstitucija, kuri užtikrina žmogaus teisę turėti savo įsitikinimus ir juos laisvai reikšti ir garantuoja, kad žmogui neturi būti kliudoma ieškoti, gauti ir skleisti informaciją bei idėjas.
žinutė. Tai man atrodo, mes turime Lietuvoje kuo pasidžiaugti. Per pastarąjį dešimtmetį kūdikių gimstamumas, o tai yra gyvybės atėjimas į pasaulį, yra sumažėjęs netgi dvigubai ir tai yra labai geras pasiekimas, tačiau turime ir...
Aujourd'hui, au bout de ça, on parle de puces qu'on pourra s'implanter. Ce sera quand ça?
Certainement dans les 10 années à venir. Et d'abord, on va les implanter dans nos vêtements, c'est-à-dire wearables, comme on le dit. Et après, on pourrait s'imaginer qu'on les implante dans nos cerveaux ou dans notre peau. Et à la fin, peut-être il y a une communication directe entre notre cerveau et le monde digital. Ce que nous voyons, c'est une sorte de fusion du monde physique, digital et biologique.
We are probably one of the last generations of Homo sapiens, because in the coming generations, we will learn how to engineer bodies and brains and minds. Science is replacing evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design. It's important because we've reached the point when we can hack not just computers, we can hack human beings and other organisms. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself. Humans are now hackable animals. You know, the whole idea that humans have, you know, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over. Free will, that's over.
revolutionary innovation that will transform the way Canadians authenticate themselves online and protect their identity. Digital ID. Digital ID is a way for Canadians to identify themselves to government, businesses, and each other electronically. It would have the power and security to store every Canadian's electronic identity and attributes. Canada's banks are perfectly situated to help lead the creation of a federated digital ID system between government and the private sector. The World Economic Forum agrees that banks and financial institutions should lead the path forward for digital ID.
I mention now names like Mrs. Merkel, even Vladimir Putin and so on. They all have been young global leaders of the World Economic Forum.
I think it's very much part of my own integrity to have myself chipped and keep my personal data there with me. I actually feel in a way that it's even more controlled on my end, having it in my own hand.
So I have a chip implant in my arm, and I have programmed the chip so that I have my COVID passport and on the chip. And the reason is that I always want to have it accessible. And when I read my chip, I just swipe my phone on the chip and then I unlock and it opens up. This is a PDF, which is my COVID passport. And this means that it's always accessible for me or for anyone else really who wants to read me.
At Davos a few years ago, the Edelman survey showed us that the good news is the elite across the world trust each other more and more. The bad news is that in every single country they were polling, the majority of people trusted that elite less.
And so, no, I'm not going to be taking any policy direction from Klaus Schwab or his ilk. And what I find offensive, look, the so-called Great Reset is not a conspiracy theory. It is an actual set of concrete proposals being advocated by some very influential people, and including, apparently, by Prime Minister Trudeau, who clearly alluded to it, referred to it, quoted from it, the Schwab theory, in a speech he gave to the United Nations a couple of months ago. So it's not a conspiracy theory to talk about that. Those are the folks advocating it. And I think it's perfectly legitimate for democratically elected leaders, for me to say, heck no, we're not going to exploit or take advantage of a crisis to advance a political agenda.
Wenn eine Website uns auffordert, eine neue digitale Identität zu erstellen oder uns bequem über eine große Plattform anzumelden, haben wir in Wirklichkeit keine Ahnung, was eigentlich mit unseren Daten passiert. Und aus diesem Grund wird die Kommission demnächst eine sichere europäische digitale Identität vorschlagen. Eine, der wir vertrauen und die Bürgerinnen und Bürger überall in Europa nutzen können, um alles zu tun, vom Steuerzahlen bis zum Fahrradmieten. Eine Technologie, bei der wir selbst kontrollieren können, welche Daten ausgetauscht und wie sie verwendet werden.